not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. This is a famous quote from John F. Kennedy that has inspired George since his childhood.
I remember there was this one woman who gave me a post in primary, and the post of being a president of a club called Aflatun. Yeah, I was the president of that club, whereby I could manage very many students, very many pupils, and make sure that every time I hold meetings with them and we share out ideas.
Throughout his academic levels, George has been taking on different leadership positions, and he has been able to gain more experience on how to improve lives of youth.
Being a health minister, being the minister in charge of smartness in school, that gave me a lot of idea to find out how I can handle young people, how I can live with the youth, how I can communicate to the youth, and how I will make the world see something inspirational into myself.
With passion to make a world a better place for next generations, George sought more exposure that could enable him reach his vision of changing lives.
Humphrey Nabimanya invited me to join the Academy of Richahan Uganda after my Form 6. Then when I joined the Academy, reaching into the Academy, wow, everything was so inspirational. The inspirational speakers that they brought, the musicians they brought to talk to us, the very many activities that was going on in the Academy made me get that love. So I became a peer educator with Richahan Uganda. That was in 2016. That's when I became the peer educator. And we went on for 1 year with Richahan Uganda. 2017 went on. So every time I could reach out, we speak to young people. We talk about SRHR. We teach them what's going on. We teach them how to live a positive living, and we educate them more. And youth, we are there to learn from us.
Richahan Uganda is a non-government organization empowering youth through different community activities. George is an indication that their efforts to impact youth are realistic.
You have to pick up something from a teacher. You need to show your teacher that you've learned something from what he's been teaching you. And that's the step we took as Thumbs for Life Uganda. Not that us forming Thumbs for Life Uganda means that we have diverted from Richahan Uganda. Richahan Uganda is our mother. It's the mother to support us. It's a home where we can run to for support. And as I speak, all team members of Richahan Uganda is so happy of what we are doing.
George is the team leader for Thumbs for Life Uganda, and his focus is to better lives for youth in Uganda.
Now, Thumbs for Life Uganda, this is a youth-led non-profitable organization that deals in empowerment programs of SRHR services. And some of the SRHR services, when I say SRHR services, some of the people out there may not be familiar with this word of SRHR. SRHR means sexual reproductive health and rights. So some of these SRHR challenges that youth are facing are the teenage pregnancy, the STDs, the STIs, the early marriages, gender-based violences, cross-generation relationship, menstruation, hygiene that affects normally the young girls out there who cannot manage to handle such situation. SRHR combines a lot of things.
George believes that in an economy where youth can create their employment opportunities, it does not increase national income only, but improve standards of living for youth too.
Now, my main target, why I brought this whole issue of entrepreneurship skill is, I sat down and looked at a situation of having someone who is in Pade district, deep there, who may not know how to start up a business. Now, Thumbs for Life Uganda came up with this whole idea of, if I go down Kampala Street, if I go move around Uganda, and I collect these successful businessmen and women who have the knowledge to entrepreneurship, and I come and talk to them, Then I tell them, you know what, I'm having this kind of initiative I'm running, I'm having this event I'm organizing, but I need your support. I'm requesting for your support. You come and talk to the youth, inspire them on how they can, take up entrepreneurship to be successful in life. And I'm not going to aim at this kind of entrepreneurship where someone started with $1 million to be successful. I'm looking at entrepreneurship, someone who has started up a business with worth a 10,000 shilling, a 5,000 shilling, but the person right now has grown up to be somebody richer in the country, somebody successful in the country, somebody who will stand and speak to the young people out there, and the young people will get inspired.
Thumbs for Life is majorly focusing on youth in rural areas. George feels that there have been inadequate access to services regarding on how they improve their lives.
I had a tour in my home district of recent, that was December. I happened to see what was happening there because basing on the fact that it was my first time reaching my home district, I saw what was happening there. Girls of young age, girls of 15 are getting married when they are still young. Girls of 14 have children. You see, very many people, let me say, very many youth in the rural areas are not being informed.
George emphasizes that peer-to-peer learning results into more positive behavior change among youth.
When somebody of 20, 24 to 25 or 26 or 30 is sitting and listening to somebody of 24, somebody of 23, somebody of 18 speaking, the person will get, there's the way the person will get encouraged, there's the way the person will get inspired. You get that person who is listening will go out and speak to the other person, and the other person will speak to the next person, and you'll find that you're forming out a batch of people who are going to inspire, who are going to change the world, who are going to preach, who are going to talk, who are going to run up and down and do the same activity.
George is not afraid of the other NGOs serving almost the same purpose. Thumbs for Life has alternative concepts for generations of youth in Uganda.
There are NGOs who are coming up and doing such things, but they're not reaching out to some other parts of the country. You get some other parts. When I follow procedures of other NGOs and I read through their profiles, you find most of their activities are being carried up like in westerns, being carried up in centrals, and they're ignoring, they're neglecting the far deep-end districts. For example, the Lira, the Gulu, the Padays, the Jumanis, the Karamojas. You find that NGOs are reaching there like once in a while. It's the UN coming up and trying to make sure that they reach different kind of parts of the world, of the country to help. You get. So me as a member as the team leader of Thumbs Up for Life Uganda, the whole story of seeing young people suffering, seeing young people not living the life that they were born to live, inspired me to form Thumbs for Life Uganda.
For the last 3 months, Thumbs for Life has been reaching out to youth across the country. George is motivated by the reception from the communities.
I spent nights explaining to the public about Thumbs for Life Uganda, telling them, people ask me questions, I answer the questions about Thumbs for Life Uganda. So that's when we started publication, and people started knowing us, people started knowing Thumbs for Life Uganda. We started running deep down into the system now, looking for different NGOs to coordinate with, the Rotarians. We could talk to them and they give us responses, tell us, you people, what you're doing is something good to the community. What you're doing is something inspiring. What we need from you is send us your proposals, send us your budgets. Then we get to know how we can fund your organization.
From his personal savings, George believes that Thumbs for Life will reach its destination.
For the start, we have been having personal fundings. I've been working and I'm still working. So I have other businesses that I've set aside. I picked my personal money that I put into Thumbs for Life Uganda to make sure that we reach out to young people. The other way we get our funding is we run down to churches and we talk to the congregations to help us collect amount of money to make sure that we reach out to young people. And after us reaching out to young people, we give feedbacks telling them that the money that you gave us, the in-kinds that you gave us has been able to help such and such group of people, and that's how we've been trusted. But however, right now we're still running on personal income.
George calls upon the responsible persons to join him and support youth across Uganda and Africa.
Government should come out and help in funding these activities, because basing on the fact that these are non-profitable led organizations, they move up and down looking for funds. But as the government should always be able to, fund these activities.
George is not running his initiative smoothly. He faces challenges too.
The difficulties we are facing as Thumbs for Life Uganda is you may reach a community and you find the kind of people you're going to reach out to are a bit aggressive. But you as a leader, as someone who has taken out the initiative to talk to them and change their lives, what have you done to them? So most of the people sometimes we reach to the youth, they're aggressive, but how have you reached them out and how have you convinced them? How have you talked to them? You get so aggressiveness in most of the community. The other thing is, we as Thumbs for Life Uganda, the challenges that we face is sometimes transportation. You get, when you're going to carry out your activity, you find out that really the transport cost you're spending, you must feed a group of people you've moved with, you must cater for everyone, you get, and you must make sure that the activity you've organized is successful. So in a day, you end up having your brain burst.
George advises most entrepreneurs to use knowledge as a key to reach their destination.
What I have to tell to the youth out there is, one, you must be knowledgeable on what you are about to start.